Scarlett Johansson has been cast in an upcoming movie that's based on Japanese anime referred to as Ghost in the Shell. Now, people are upset about it because Scarlett Johansson will be playing a Japanese character. As you guys know, Scarlett Johansson is not Japanese. She's not even Asian. She's as white as can be. There she is. She's beautiful, but she's not Asian. Now, people are wondering why it is that she's being cast in an Asian role when there is a plethora of awesome Asian actresses out there that would do a phenomenal job in this movie. Now, the actress will star as Major Motoko Kusanagi, a special ops human cyborg hybrid in a live-action adaptation of the popular Japanese anime series. Okay.
Now, wait a minute. She's also not half cyborg. I think this casting is unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Look, this has been an ongoing issue in Hollywood, right? And it drives me insane because whenever people move here and they overpopulate my city with their acting aspirations, right?
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say the Ford. So I was like, Anna.
No, it's not.
The actors, I got you.
I want to pull them aside and be like, do you understand how the system works, okay? There's a small circle of Hollywood celebrities, A-list celebrities, that get cast in every role. Even if they're not Asian, even if they're not black, it doesn't matter. Like, they'll somehow get cast in roles where they're not really appropriate, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're starting out as a new actor, like, there's no chance for you. So the big argument is, all right, well, we have this movie coming out and we want to draw big audiences. How do you draw a big audience? Well, you need a big name. You need a big name. But how does an actor or actress become a big name unless you give them a shot? Like, think about Slumdog Millionaire, right? Can you imagine, like, two white people playing Slumdog Millionaire's characters? No, I mean,
I almost could, right?
But there
knowing Hollywood. Yeah, of course that's not the right thing to do.
That was a breakout movie for the two main characters. I forget their names in the moment.
Slightly ironic.
Slightly ironic, but they were incredible in it. The movie did really well. I mean, I remember that movie was probably one of the best movies of the year.
Frida Pinto.
Frida Pinto, yes.
Yes.
I wish she did more stuff because I thought she was a phenomenal actress. But it's this vicious cycle, okay, where these production companies just refuse to give maybe not so big name actors and actresses a shot.
And I get it. So I'm not saying this is an excuse. I'm saying it as an explanation. So they think, well, look, if you're going to open a movie big, you need big stars attached to it. And you might not know this extra layer, which is that if the big stars are not attached to a movie, it just flat out doesn't get made. So if this movie had a Japanese actress attached to it, it might not exist. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I think that's ridiculous. Now, they'll have excuses, the Hollywood executives, who, by the way, are, here liberal Hollywood. Yes, the actors, a lot of them are liberal, right? The executives are not so liberal, right? And so they'll have excuses of, well, I have studies here showing that this actress or actor will bring in this number of, ticket sales. And so I need that ticket sales, otherwise I won't be able to afford making the movie, right? But a lot of times they get detached from that, and they'll pay Arnold Schwarzenegger for another couple of decades a lot of money that they cannot prove that he brings in, right? Why? Because, hey, I'm not going to get fired for putting Schwarzenegger in a movie. I'm not going to get fired for putting Scarlett Johansson in a movie. But if I put $100 million into the movie and I didn't attach a big name to it because I wanted to do the right thing and have an Asian star in it, I could get fired, and I ain't going to get fired.
Well, I mean, look, so far 65,000 people have signed a petition to get an Asian actress to play this role. I completely understand their frustrations, and we have a long history in this country with casting the wrong people for the wrong roles, okay? So in the 1970s, there was this very popular commercial about the crying, they called it the crying Indian, which is crying Native American, right?
Yes.
Let's take a look at it. This person is not Native American, but I'll tell you what his true identity is after we watch.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
God bless the 1970s and 80s.
Homeboy was Italian. Like second generation Italian, okay? I mean, it's awesome. And then there was this epic movie, epically bad movie that John Wayne was in called The Conqueror, right? It was a huge flop. And he was cast to play Genghis Khan. Take a look at this.
Suppose, having taken your favors, I refuse the favor you seek.
Then I would reveal your betrayal to Temujin.
They look more Klingon than Asian.
So it seems like we haven't learned enough.
How does Genghis Khan have a Western accent? So Hollywood's been doing this for a long time. You would have thought we would have gotten a little bit better, but apparently we still have a long way to go.